Welcome back to Mr. Lita's virtual art room. Today I want to start off by telling you a quick story. It's a cool story. I think you'll like it. It's about going to the supermarket and seeing a whole bunch of brand new superheroes. Now I know they're not really superheroes, but every time Mr. Lita sees somebody in a mask, I automatically think they're a superhero. Personally, I think these new superheroes are pretty weird. I always liked the classic superheroes of Superman and Batman and Daredevil. But as a child, my favorite character was Spider-Man. And so today, we're going to draw a very simple version of Spider-Man. Now guys, if you're looking for a video that's going to teach you how to draw a super realistic Spider-Man with all the gritty comic book detail and every rippling muscle, that's not this video. This video is about how to draw a little cute, happy Spider-Man. Okay, boys and girls, let's get started. We're going to go to the middle of the paper, slowly go up from the middle. What we're going to do is we're going to make two dots. I'm going to make the first one on one side of that center and come over. Come over quite a lot. Don't put the dots close together. I'm going to measure it here with my finger. Where that second knuckle is, that's where I want that dot. Lots of space between the dots. This is going to be the start of Spider-Man's eyes. We're going to go two curves going out from the center. Here's a curve, about medium size. Here's a curve on the other side, around the same size. Just making sure that it's even. Going to the end of the curve, and then we're going to make an upside down rainbow, starting at one side, dipping down and coming up to the end. We'll do the same thing on the other side. And that is the start of Spider-Man's eyes. I'm going to do the trim around the eyes, the black part of the eyes. I'm going to put two dots here at the tip of the eyes. I'm going to make another dot here where the line is coming in, and that's going to show me where to start and where we're going to stop. We're going to make a curved line that goes from one dot to the other. It's a nice stretched out S, curved line out, and then we're going to connect that top dot to the bottom. It's going to go in a nice curve around the eye. Sometimes it's best if you turn your paper in order for it to be easier for you to draw the line. That's what I'm doing here, is figuring it out. And you don't have to make it all at one time. You can sketch it out, sketch it nice. And now we have that outline. Going to the next one, sketching it out, not being afraid, and connecting the dots. There you have some Spider-Man eyes. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to make a dot on one side that's going to connect to the other. So go on the outside of the eye on one side, put a dot there. It's going to be a nice rainbow curve. And I want to make sure it's around the same side. Now that dot is connecting to the other. Again, just sketching. Nice and slow. It's not a race. And connecting one dot to the other for the top of Spider-Man's head. Now we're going to go for the bottom of Spider-Man's head. It's going to connect one side to the other. I'll put two bumps, one on one side and one on the other, make them around the same size. We're going to connect them with a big long curve. From one side to the other. Again, sketching. Just be patient. Now you have the head and the eyes. Let's start the webs. Let's make a line going down Spider-Man's forehead, down the middle. We're going to start right there between the eyes, and we're going to make two curves. Here's one curve, and the other. And I know this looks strange, boys and girls, but you'll get the hang of it. Make a line going out from the middle, connecting to the outside of the head. And on the other side, doing the same thing in the opposite direction. Let's make the bottom set of webs. I know where the middle is. It's going to be a skinny rainbow. Right here where the nose would be on Spidey. And two lines going down to the other side of his mouth. There's 3 lines on top and 2 on the bottom now. Let's make some little curves that connect to the eyes. And that's how we draw the center of Spider-Man's mask. We're going to be using a lot of these little curves to make the webs on Spider-Man's uniform. Let's put a couple more lines here, coming out from the eye and down on the cheek. On the other side, do the same thing. On the outside of the eye to the outside of the head. On the other side, the same thing. Now we're going to complete the pattern. On the top, we're using upside down rainbows. I'm showing you here they're going in a curve. So starting from the eye and stopping at the line, then make another one. Upside down rainbow. And another one. Let's do that again. Go from the top of the eye and some little curves to the line, curve to the line, curve to the line, curve to the line. Good job. There's 3 on the top. Now I'm looking at it to make sure I've got it right, and let's do 2 on the bottom, starting here. It's going to be a regular rainbow. Goes from one line to the other, and we'll do another rainbow connecting the eye to the web. It's the same on the other side. Now let's do some webs on the bottom of the face. Remember guys, it's not a race. You don't have to make the lines at the same time. You can make the lines in sections. If you're patient, you will see a good result. And there we have Spider-Man's mask. Let's work on the body. The body's coming down from the head, and it looks like, say half of a bean bag. And we'll make it round on the bottom there. Remember, this is a nice, cute little Spider-Man. Give him a nice, cute cartoon kind of form. Let's put one leg over here. It's going to stick out to the side a little bit. And the outside of the leg is going to curve just like that. He's going to be bending this leg. Now we're going to use a big upside down curve for his foot. It starts from the bottom of his body and connects to his leg. And this will make it look like he's bending his leg behind. We'll add a little curve there for his boot. The other leg is going to kick out to the side. We'll do a nice wide number 11. And then we're going to come out on both sides with a curve. It's going to be a big curve for this cartoon foot, almost like a Mickey Mouse foot. We're doing a curve there for his boot. And we're going to get rid of some lines here. The lines that connect the body and the legs, let's get rid of that line, making that all one shape. That's a cool way to build a shape, but remember, we're drawing nice and light. Let's do the arms and hands coming out from the body. One arm is going to be going down, kind of like our Gary the Goose model. We're going to put the thumb on the bottom. It's a bump that's not as big as the other ones. Over here on top of the arm, we're doing a longer bump that connects to the smaller one. And just like we did with Gary the Goose, we're going to do two fingers that are overlapped, and they're both behind the front finger. Let's do a curve there for the glove and move on to the other arm. The other arm is going to be holding his spider web. Let's come out from the body, make it as wide as the other arm so that it matches. And this one is going to be holding something, but we're doing this a little differently. Make the thumb by making a rainbow that curls back on itself. And then we're going to do 3 fingers, and they kind of look like hot dogs, boys and girls. Let's do the first finger coming out of the thumb. It goes behind the thumb. The second finger going behind the thumb. And the third finger, I guess it'd be his pinky. On the other side, and you'll notice that it needs to connect to the rest of the arm, we're going to use a curve there. There we go. And now we have his hand, and it looks like he's grabbing onto something. Let's do a curve there for his glove, and let's put his spider web here. Comes out from where the thumb meets the rest of the body. And then we have an S curve, nice and long, on the bottom. And now Spidey is grabbing onto his web. Let's make the webs on the rest of his uniform. We're going to put one line down the middle of his glove. And then we're going to end it with 2 curves. It almost looks like an arrow. Let's put another 2 curves there. And now we have the webs. And for the fingers we're going to do rainbows. Let's do 3 rainbows on the thumb, 3 upside down rainbows, 4 the finger. Let's do the same thing on the other side. There's 1. We'll end it with something that looks like an arrow. do the same lines on the arm. Let's do some rainbows inside the thumb and the rest of the fingers. Very nice. Let's do the boots. I'm going to put 2 lines on the boot, and they're going to be curved. This is going to give the look that it is his foot back there and not just a shape. And let's do some webs there on the foot. On the other foot, let's put a number 11, and we'll come out on either side of that 11. Let's do some webs on that foot as well. Very well done. Let's do the middle of his uniform. It almost looks like a vest. It comes down on either side and then goes out. There's a backwards letter L and then a regular letter L, like Mr. Lita. Now one on the bottom here, and this makes up his belt, just like that. Let's draw a spider, a little spider in the middle of his chest, by doing 2 small circles on top of each other. The spider legs are just lines. How many legs does a spider have? 8. So these lines are going to start as a straight line that crosses over the spider. 8 legs. I'm just making sure. Evening it out. There are webs on the rest of the uniform as well. Let's break it down by line. One line goes down the middle. And we have 2 lines on either side of the vest and another line inside the belt on either side. Do some curves here. There are those 2 lines. Now we have the rainbows inside the belt. Gives a nice detail. Nice Chibi Spider-Man. We're going to be using 2 kinds of markers, a Sharpie marker, using our eraser, and this marker is a thin marker. It's got a thin tip, and I'm going to use this for the webbing. Let's get started. Remember, it's a Chibi Spider-Man. This is what we're going for. And the colors we're using are going to be bright. There you see, he's waving hello. Good job. We're adding some color to Spidey's life here. The red is going on most of the uniform. His gloves, his boots. Now I'm going to switch over to a darker red. And this darker red I'm going to imagine is the shading. I'm going to imagine there's light coming in from the top. I'm just going to use a little bit of it. Underneath Spider-Man's chin, but only on the red. I'm just doing the dark red on the red. Putting it on the bottom of the gloves here. It's almost like a nice dark outline. Just gives a interesting look to our drawing. On the other glove, the same. To the bottom of it. And then on every finger, on the bottom of that finger, I'm adding a darker shade. Once again, not coloring the whole part of the red, just lines. Now here, I've decided to go on the bottom of Spider-Man's jaw. Nice dark outline in that darker color. Gives the whole picture another dimension. On the bottom of the boots as well. Being careful right now to stay inside the lines. We're going to be shading in the same way with the blue parts of the uniform. Using a lighter blue at first. Staying inside the lines. Then switching over to a darker blue. Imagining our light source, which is coming from on top, we'll do the bottom of the arms, just an outline. Not much at all. Just a hint of a shadow. A little bit here on the bottom of the uniform, where the leg bends, and the other side. We'll add a little detail to the web, using that light blue on one side to give it some dimension. You guys did an awesome job with this. I hope you practice, and I hope you have fun.